Hello, listening people.
Hello.
You are listening to Spit and Polish presents Unappreciated Masterpieces. I'm Ryan Sliwinski.
I'm Bartek Kasprzyszak.
And you are listening to Spit and Polish. Why we call it Spit and Polish? It's because we're always spitting.
And we're both Polish.
And what's the film we're going to talk about today, Bartek?
The film today is Duży Gruby Kłamco.
I don't understand what you said. I imagine you're speaking Polish. I do not speak Polish.
Oh, well, in that case, Mr. I'm Polish but don't speak Polish, the movie we are watching is called Big Fat Liar.
Ah, yes. Big Fat Liar. And I think it's time to introduce our first ever guest and our first ever non-Polish guest, Will Brooks.
Hello!
Hi, Will. How's it going?
Pretty good. I'm Will Brooks. I'll be one of the guys talking while you're watching the film.
Yes.
Hope you enjoy.
Well, we are going to be talking about the 2002 classic, unappreciated masterpiece that is Big Fat Liar. Big Fat Liar starring Frankie Muniz, Paul Giamatti, and, of course, Amanda Bynes, with many, many, many other cameos and interesting guest starring appearances. Are we excited?
I'm pretty excited.
Yes. I think we should just mention our background with the film first.
The background? Yes, you go first.
Well, I'm probably the least exciting background because I only saw this film for the first time as of this recording 24 hours ago.
Well, we're going to be talking very much about that because Will and I, we of course have lived this film before, haven't we?
If I lived before, you mean watched once a number of years ago and then rewatched again the other day?
Well, I guess...
I have lived.
I guess you guys are fairly new to Big Fat Liar. Me, I was one of those kids who always watched it when it was on TV. I never, of course, got the pleasure of seeing this masterpiece in the cinema when it first came out, which is one of my greatest tragedies in life that I've lived so far. But one day, maybe Big Fat Liar 2?
Yeah, well,
who knows?
Don't beat yourself up over it too much. We were only 9 when it was in cinemas?
Yeah, well, it was old enough for me to realise that I missed an important moment in life.
Well, I mean, we were 9, it's an explicit film, so...
For you, it's explicit. For Will and I, it's a masterpiece, and it's all right.
Well, I grew up with Nickelodeon, so I had, some experience with the type of goings-on that happened in the film.
Because it was written by Dan Schneider, that guy who does quite a lot of those Nickelodeon shows.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, let's stop gasbagging on about how much we love the film, and let's actually start it. So, I will do the countdown. So, 3, 2, 1... play. So here we are now starting it. Universal, the masters of cinema.
What? Bit of lag, but we're getting through.
Yes, we are getting through the film. Yes, it's still on the Universal side. Now, Bartek, you were mentioning this is your first time out seeing Big Fat Liar. What did you think of it? Now, you barely knew anything about the film.
I found it refreshing, actually.
Yes?
Yes. There are a lot of kids' movies today where... I don't know, I don't think they really get their audience much, and this was just a fun film, and Frankie Muniz really held it together as the lead.
Okay, and would you say if you were a kid when you watched this, if you saw this when it first came out, would this been in your collection of favourite kid films? Do you think kid Bartek would have loved this film like adult Bartek does?
I think I appreciate it more now from a retrospective perspective.
Beautiful.
I like this part.
Oh, the bullies.
Yes. The bullies is clearly the best. What I love about the bully is, look at him in this scene. He clearly is the dominant leader of the group. But later on, they completely change his character to a complete imbecile who has no idea of words or basically any human function. But here, he doesn't seem like a complete idiot. He seems like just a normal kid. Flexing, apparently.
Yeah.
But he's just a bully. But later on, they introduce him as a completely different character, in my opinion. It's kind of like, oh yeah, let's have generic bully, and then later on he becomes like Ralph Wiggum or something. Why does it happen?
Jack to Ralph Wiggum.
He suffered a severe head injury off screen.
You know what I really liked? After the film, I looked him up on Wikipedia. Oh, by the way, remember when you went to school and you were locked out last second?
I wish they did that.
Yeah. So I looked him up on Wikipedia, and he won like awards for his role in 12 Years of Slave, apparently.
Well, of course. He's a great actor. Now, what I love is, look, they've both got these walkie-talkies. When I was rewatching this yesterday, I'm like, what the fuck is that technology? I don't know. Is it a weird mobile phone? And then I kind of had to rewind it and pause it and realize they both got these separate walkie-talkies, but in a few moments, he clearly has a mobile phone, as does she later on in the film. So why weren't they just texting with mobile phones in the first place? Like, one of them, they're both carrying walkie-talkie, weird, texty devices, but then they both have mobile phones. So
is it like a mobile pager or something?
Yeah,
like a hybrid?
I don't know. But why? Now, okay, Bartek, you're new to this, but this is the scene in which I actually have I have pages upon pages of notes. And with this specific moment, I wrote classic meatball story, because this is the classic meatball story of film. I don't think any other movie has had a meatball story quite as interesting as Big Fat Liar, in which, he's telling the story about, a tragic story, some might say, about how his dad choked on a meatball.
Yeah, and Frankie Muniz sells it.
I like how you think he sells it. I think this really shows how
Well, look at him. He's really into it. Like a normal
this is
child
his
actor.
moment in the sun.
Yeah, a child actor today would kind of just like read and be like all desperate, like it was really bad.
You know Frankie Muniz is now a car racer, right?
No, I just always had that in the back of my mind, like, what's Frankie Muniz
He's
doing?
a car
But
racer.
I'll never look it up.
He had a stroke a few years back, and he's only in his 20s or 30s or whatever. He had a stroke. So I feel like they're gonna have this classic meatball scene in his memoriam video at the Oscars or something. It'll be like, out of all the actors we lost this year, we lost the greatest of them all, Frankie Muniz. And then it'll have that inspirational music, and then it will cut to this clip in which it's just yeah, and he choked on a meatball. It's like, we will miss his talents. We'll miss them all. I like how all of the kids are supporting him, but there's that one kid in the middle, just a moment ago, he had this disgusted look on his face.
Is he going to show him again?
No, I bet not.
That guy wasn't disgusted. He was very impressed.
So you were saying this is your first time watching it. Now, was it a marvelous time? Was it a great experience actually watching the film itself? Did you enjoy everyone in it, especially? I got to ask, you talked about Frankie Muniz being the glue. I think Paul Giamatti is the glue of this film, and we have yet to see Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, I meant in the related to other child actors, he did really well.
True. Now, I love the teacher who is Sandra Oh of Grey's Anatomy fame, of course, and I bet there's someone out there going, it's not just Grey's Anatomy fame, guy, she's a big part of Big Fat Liar, where she appears in 3 scenes. But I love her in this film because she's doing overacting, or as I'm going to keep calling it Shatner in this film, because in my notes I kept writing Shatner because she specifically had the vocal stylings of William Shatner. There's a bit coming up in a moment where she'll be like, the 2 choices are summer school or summer school. And it's just so William Shatner. And then I realize I'm watching the film, lots of people are doing William Shatner. Like, the kids are doing William Shatner. The Paul Giamatti does William Shatner. Later on, Sulu from the new Star Trek movies does William Shatner. It's just great. It's just great to see that in a kids' film, they are like, you know what we need? To do some William Shatner acting. Now here's a big question. How would this film have worked if Frankie Muniz was played by William Shatner?
It would have been like in the South Park episodes where Rob Schneider has commercials and he's clearly in places an adult shouldn't be.
Well, I guess you've got to question: can you improve a masterpiece?
It is true.
And would the addition of William
There's
Shatner...
a line, that line just there, he was like, well, why don't you, make it up since you seem so good at making up stories. I took that as a compliment. I'm like, why are you looking sad? It's true.
What I love is that was literally the last line of dialogue we heard, and in this scene right now, they're going to repeat that dialogue that we just heard.
Yeah, and now he's like, oh wait, that was a compliment.
He's like, oh, okay, good idea, Dad. Now, can we talk about his parents? Will, what do you think about his parents?
Does his mom actually say anything in this film?
I'm pretty sure she says something.
I think she says a few things, and I think you pointed out earlier, Ryan, that you thought his dad looked a bit like Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah. We're talking before, and I think, honestly, the dad looks like he could play Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four. And at the end, he's there. At the end, spoiler, I know you're surprised. At the end, he's there in a tuxedo, and he's like, "Is he Bruce Wayne's dad? What's happening?" I'm like, no, the bully's a completely different character. I'm not saying it's that he took the skateboard and it made him a different man, but clearly Frankie Muniz's skateboard made him a different man. In fact, in my notes, when he's skating, Frankie Muniz, I actually wrote, "Malcolm can skate."
Oh, okay, yeah. I've watched one episode of Malcolm.
One episode. Guys, we're talking over the best bit. Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, I really liked him in this scene.
This is...
Again, because I didn't know what the movie was about, I thought this was like the one part of the movie he's in. I'm like, oh, he's going to be like a mentor character throughout the whole movie, teaching, and he's going to use the lessons he learnt in this part to become the best liar in the world.
Oh, he's going to teach us some stuff.
And then when he left his, like, you know... Well, I'm sorry, I'm spoiling the movie.
No, go on. when he left his dignity behind, I mean, his virginity behind, I mean, the paper behind.
The paper with grey on it that, like, if you look at it from our perspective, looks like an assignment.
Yeah.
When he leaves it behind and he's like, oh, okay, it's like, oh, okay, he's going to be a driving force behind the movie.
Paul Giamatti.
And then I cried in happiness because he would be more of him.
That limp handshake. That was a limp handshake. Oh, it's like this. What I love is, Will, I gotta ask you, what are both of their names?
It's Marty Wolf, and I believe it's Jason Shepard.
It's
symbolism.
Symbolism.
Wolf,
Shepherd. Boy
Shepherd.
Who Cried Wolf. I think is what it's a retelling of Boy Who Cried Wolf.
The shepherd part went over my head, but yeah.
Whoa, really? Great. The story basically is from Frankie Muniz learns you shouldn't tell lies, and you should never at least tell, you shouldn't tell lies. But what I love is Paul Giamatti Marty Wolf doesn't learn anything at the end. Like, he gets humiliated, but he still thinks, well, I guess you don't tell the same lie twice. Like, that's his motivation at the end of this film, is he learns literally nothing, which is what I love. I love characters that learn literally nothing at the end of the film, yet they go through so much. And this is one of the...
Well, he does learn one thing.
What does he learn?
Jason's 14.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yes. I had that in my notes. It's just like, I'm 14. He says that like 3 or 4 times, and then at the end it's like, how could you steal a paper from a 12-year-old boy? It's like, he's 14 actually.
Spoiler alert, Ryan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're just spoiling the whole film. Yeah.
We're going to talk about other scenes during this fantastic scene.
I'm sorry.
Earl, he called him Earl.
He called him Earl. That's true. So we got the acting in this film is just, look.
It got some big names too.
It got big names. I'm not saying that this is Paul Giamatti's best film, but it's clearly Paul Giamatti's best film.
There's a good
actor. Yeah. Now, Will Bartek,
There's a better actor.
Will Bartek, I want to ask you.
Will Bartek what? I'm just coming out with the jokes. Alright, I'm listening.
God, I hate you. I want to know, do you know who he is?
Jaleel White?
Yeah, but why is he famous?
He played 2 very famous characters. He played one, Steve Urkel in Family Matters, and he played Sonic the Hedgehog in cartoons.
There you go. Will, you knew that?
I didn't know the Sonic thing.
Well, you did.
Thank you for keeping me informed.
But you did know the Urkel, right? Yes. And that's obviously the crux of the story with this character of him playing himself is he hates being called Urkel. Now, I gotta ask you.
Yeah, typecast.
I gotta ask you. You said, we were 9 years old. Would 9-year-old Bartek and 9-year-old Will and 9-year-old Ryan know about Urkel?
Dude, I have never seen an episode of Family Matters, and I hadn't heard of it until like the last couple of years, maybe.
Urkel does get referenced in popular culture. I mean, the episode of The Simpsons where Homer mistakes Burns for an alien.
But references are so fleeting. What I'm saying is, why is Urkel in this film? I understand why he's in the film, but I'm saying it's a kid's film, right? What kids are going to understand the Urkel reference? Maybe I am underestimating kids' knowledge of Urkel.
Oh, here comes your line.
Oh, yeah. Without the essay, Yes, the classic, or summer school. Look at her. Oh, she's so evil for no apparent reason. No, Will, you wanted to talk about this scene here.
Oh, yeah, listen. Well, there's a lot going on in this scene. I'm not sure whether we should divert to Ferret Guy who's coming up, or we should talk about the history of the semicircle.
I love
Semicolon.
Oh, semicolon.
So, Will, you were talking to me about what was wrong with this scene before. Now, Bartek, prepare yourself. Tell us what's wrong with the scene.
Oh, let me just get my notes.
Full page of
yes,
sentences.
Here we are. Yeah, I actually looked up the history of the semicolon because of this, because I wanted to see if it was true, and I couldn't find anything on Jedediah Wilkinson, and I looked it up, and the modern use of the semicolon actually predates 1734. So it's like, I don't want to alarm you guys, but that bit in summer school, it's actually a lie.
Shit!
I know, it's a lie. I love that's what you got out of that scene. Personally, I couldn't get over the ferret guy.
I couldn't get over the teacher. The teacher's just like so into it, like that one scene where he's so happy.
I love the ferret guy. Like, why has he got a ferret? There's all these questions. No, this scene here, I specifically wrote down, where is it? I wrote down that like, oh, she's back again, or something, because it's been so long since we've seen her character that I kind of forgot that she was in the movie. And they do that with so many characters. Like, we see the bully again later on, and I'm like, oh my god, that's the bully. I kind of forgot about this.
Yeah, they didn't show the best part of the movie enough.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, the bully? The bully? Or are you talking about what the bully storyline is? Which, we'll get to that eventually.
Well, I mean, they come hand in hand, don't they?
Oh,
there's some very patrician elements in the bullies storyline.
I love how he hovers, just like, he's got magical powers. Now, I'm not saying that this is actually secretly an X-Men movie in which he has magical powers or something.
Sorry, I was just liking the word art looking font.
Well, it's the 2000s. It's the 2000s.
I used word art all the time in 2000s.
Now, I gotta ask you a question, guys. Would you watch Big Fat Liar? Like, in this universe where Marty Wolf made it and he made the film, would you have watched it?
If I was 9, maybe, yeah.
Well, if a film called Big Fat Liar is a masterpiece in one universe, it stands to reason it could be a masterpiece elsewhere.
Oh, God.
I'm like that with the movies in the South Park series, like Terrence and Phillip Asses on Fire and stuff. I'd see those.
Yes, I would. I don't know. I would rather see Chubby Rain than Big Fat Liar. But this... Look at the dad. He's Mr. Fantastic. Look at him. Can't you see him as Mr. Fantastic? Like, he's just like, son, don't tell lies. And he, like, slaps him. But he's like, Frankie Muniz is in a different room. And you just see, like, the dad's hand just kind of, like, whip back through the corridors. And it's just like, he's missed up.
Oh, I forgot all about this part.
The sister.
I was like, oh, she's such a nice sister.
I like how she has the word innocent written on her shirt to give us the idea that she's not in fact
she has
innocent.
os.
No, but
like this guy.
The cultural appropriation guy, or as I wrote in my notes, racism.
That man's me.
That's
yo, what's up, dog?
That's precisely Bartek.
And then he says, how you living? You ask, like, how are you in 3 different ways.
It's cracking, kid.
I'm seeing double.
What I love, we never see her again.
Yeah, I know, that's why I said I forgot about this, which means we never see him again. Look at that old guy.
Again, we never see her again.
Yeah,
she's dead in the story, I think, because it's like
by that logic, Jaleel White is too.
No, we see Jaleel White a lot more.
Yeah, but in his last scene, he...
Oh, well, yeah.
No spoilers, Ron.
Oh, no, here's the scene. Scene. Yeah. Look at him. His face is different now. Like, he's actually acting like he is dumb now.
Yeah.
Well, before he was acting like sinister.
This is his revelation of, like, the skateboard doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it's like, what?
This is his character development.
Development? Yeah.
Development before his main arc.
Yeah. And I love... I hope we could get this, but I love... What did you guys think of his laugh? Do you remember this? Like, at the end of the scene, he's, like, on the toilet or something, or he has, like, a fart or something, and you just hear, like, this goofy-ass laugh. And it took me, like, in a different place in the universe when I heard that, because I'm like, wait, what is this movie? Because
it wasn't it wasn't funny. It was appropriate because he was explaining exactly what it was that made him laugh, what he did, and you didn't even need to see it. You gotta tell, don't show with him.
He was being very courteous explaining.
Yeah.
See, look, he's asking for the plunger, and he did a dookie, so we know exactly what happened.
Oh god.
And like the subtitles there just said Brett laughs goofily, so it's like, hey, we know exactly what's going on.
The subtitles know what we need.
Now, Will, you're a bit of a bully. Would you?
That's accurate.
Would you wear women's clothing on the advice of the kid you bully for free summer school homework to be done for 4 days? I think this movie goes over the span of like 4 or 5 days, perhaps. Would you go to an elderly woman's house pretending to be her granddaughter so that Frankie Muniz can do your homework?
Well, anything for Frankie.
Now, I just look at her. I love this storyline because it literally goes nowhere.
Yeah, well, it goes nowhere.
I mean, it literally goes nowhere.
No, the absolute
Whoa, look
pinnacle of this storyline is when it cuts back to it and they're doing the exercises and Grandma Pearl is lifting the weights made of wool.
It's a spoiler alert.
I'm sorry, I have just spoiled the greatest thing, but it's okay. Because just hearing me describe it is not enough.
No,
you need to see it.
I like that guy. He's like, ooh.
Oh, it's Turk from Scrubs.
I know what Scrubs. What are you, a scrub?
So, I wrote in my notes, Turk is in this several times because you kind of forget that he's in this. Also,
there's actually 2 Turks in this film. There's Turks from Scrubs, and then the guy playing the Masher, the individual with the monster truck, is played by an actor called Brian Turk.
Well, there you go.
So you're getting 2 Turks.
Oh, I thought you were going to say there's like a Turkish actor.
1 Turk, 2 Turks, 3 Turks, a lady.
This guy's got a cute face.
He's got a all right, Bartek. I love that. And now
Thanks, JD.
Oh, that poor guy. And I want to see his movie. Like after that, he's left at the airport and it becomes Terminal with Tom Hanks.
Oh, the first montage.
The first of many montages.
Oh man, a cloudy day. Couldn't get a blue day, not cloudy day.
I wrote montage like 4 or 5 times in this film because it just gets to the point where it's like, how about we do montages instead of storytelling? Now, guys, I've got a big revelation for you.
Oh, really?
Now, it's going to shock you. I have never watched all of this film before.
What?
Yeah, okay, so what happened is I always watched it on TV.
Uh-huh.
And I always missed the first 2 minutes of the film. So I didn't know that he opens up with him telling all these lies or anything. I always got there when he's jumping through the window to tell the meatball story. And why I wanted to talk about this film was a few months ago I was watching TV and I flicked on and it was on. But I missed the start of it, and it was when they were just entering the airport. And it's been years since I watched it. I'm like, it just reminded me how much I have never seen this movie in its entirety.
So
before.
you never got the foreshadowing of the skateboard.
I never got that moment. You got me.
Only now do you understand the bully.
Yeah, I only understand his motivations now.
This is a pivotal scene.
Now, I was watching this yesterday, and I know, spoiler. Security guard joins them later on.
Yeah.
But I didn't see how they convinced him to join.
Maybe he was best friends with one of the people.
I think he's the only member of the people that Marty Wolf interacts with him where Marty's not a massive jackass to him. He doesn't get the chance.
Yeah, because later on they introduce another security guy, like the head of security, Rocco.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do they have 2 security guys? I love this film set. We've already missed the bronze people. In the background, there's the people in bronze. Those are the gorilla suits from Batman and Robin, in case anyone was curious. And look, foreshadowing of the Fantastic Four there, I'm pretty sure. They were all in spacesuits, kind of like the Fantastic Four. Just another foreshadowing of the dad should really be Mr. Fantastic.
You mean Fantastic Four?
Oh, I hate you so much. I hate you. Oh. Now, what did you think of this character here?
I thought she was okay.
Will?
She's a dog lover, and she works for a guy whose last name is Wolf.
I wrote that she's
Symbolism.
probably the most realistic character because she's like, he doesn't have kids. I'm not going to let you in there. I don't know who you are. Get away from me, basically. And I also ask Frankie Muniz to get away from me, too. That's creepy.
Well, you say that she's realistic, but when Amanda Bynes does her job and she gets fully into character, I think becoming another person, even though you don't really want to, is fully in character for someone to do.
Now, we haven't talked about Amanda Bynes at any point. Now, I never grew up or watched anything about Amanda Bynes. Never watched the Amanda Show. I didn't have Nickelodeon. So this was the only Amanda Bynes content that I grew up with. And now I'm aware of her because she had a breakdown. Why is... Okay, you guys know Amanda
Yeah,
Bynes.
I've seen all that. I've seen the Amanda Show.
So, is she good? Or was she good?
She was... I mean, like, look, when we're this age, we watch a lot more, stuff suited to our age, comedy shows like, I don't know, Saturday Night Live and all that kind of stuff. When you're a kid, your kid version is like the Amanda Show. So you get like funny sketches where, they slap each other with fish. She plays a Judge Judy parody and stuff like that. So, I mean, in this age, kids liked her. She was funny enough.
So, is that why in this movie they make her do several different characters?
I think...
I suspect.
Yes,
so.
she's a child actress who is known for comedic stuff. So that's why she does a
go.
lot of stuff. And then it's kind of jarring where she's trying to play a normal girl, then she cuts immediately to being crazy or whatever.
Yeah.
I've just got one question related to Amanda Bynes in this film.
Yeah?
What's her character's name in this film? Because I kept thinking of her, that's just Amanda Bynes. So it's like, I actually don't know what her name is in this film.
Oh, well, clearly somebody wasn't paying attention because now she is Astrid. Barker. Oh my god! Barker! I only
Well, I mean, when Will just said that she's a dog lover working for a guy named Wolf, I was like, oh, I get that now.
It's Astrid Barker. I watched this film yesterday and I didn't get that. That was great. Now...
And by the way, her character's name is Kaylee.
Kaylee.
Thank you.
Now, I love his office because it's got many things of him.
Oh, this part was something that was a bit weird. Like, here he's having a breakdown of the fact that he can't find his organizer. And I thought that was foreshadowing to, if he doesn't have his organizer, something bad's going to go happen to him. But it never comes up again. It's just the fact...
No. He steals his organizer.
Yeah, but that's the thing. This scene is establishing that the absence of his organizer causes him, to go crazy. But the absence of that organizer when he takes it doesn't make him go crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing that made me feel, that was a bit weird.
I like how he has... we'll see it in a moment. But did you guys notice that Marty Wolf, he grabs out from the safe. He has a safe. But the safe is in a wall, and the wall is, different collages of Marty Wolf's face. Did you see this? It's, because I love how it just,
her face... Yeah.
Her face confused. Yeah, I wrote. I wrote creepy face from.
I was like, what's her character? Is she going to be major? Is she going to be minor? What's that face supposed to mean? Okay, you talk to this kid who, and she just learnt that he wrote Big Fat Liar. So,
but she doesn't seem phased. And later on, she's like, "Wait, he wrote Big Fat Liar? You were there when he said he wrote Big Fat Liar."
And by the way, that scene at the party has a cameo from an actor who was in something I really enjoyed watching.
Which is...
What was that?
Dustin Powers. He played Screech in Saved by the Bell.
Oh, there you go.
So when I was like, Screech!
There's many people from... Many cameos later on.
Next time we should watch, I don't know, Saved by the Bell Wedding in Las Vegas. That's an underappreciated film that I watched once and never again.
I wrote... Oh, wait. No, it's somewhere around in this next few shots. You're going to see, a wall of his face, and it is... gorgeous there it is.
What? Is that bad continuity or a wall?
No. He opened the safe.
Yeah.
So it opens the wall with his faces on it. And then when he closes it, it closes the wall with his faces on it.
Wait, so was that a closet or something? The safe was in the closet?
Yeah. So he's like a wall that you have a handle on, and you open up the wall and there's a safe installed in the wall. I love...
Oh, he dropped the match.
I wrote several times... Paul Giamatti. Just Paul Giamatti. Nothing else. I could have written overacting or saving grace of film, but just Paul Giamatti. But with this scene, I wrote this many a times. What if everyone died right now? Like, what happens if the film took a weird turn and they burned to death?
Amanda Bynes would be the main character.
Really? I think it would be Urkel. Because...
His name is Jaleel.
Yeah. His name is Jaleel. No, I would like...
Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, I think, you know what would... Okay. This is Dog Eat Dog Town, the classic, but then it's like... And we got cats eating cats, we got fish munching fish, we play by our own rules. I love, like, later on, he uses that. Like, Frankie Muniz is like, this is a fish eat fish town. It's like, why is he using this language from Marty Wolf? He hates them. If you hated someone, would you adopt what they said and use it in everyday manner speech? Would you?
Yes.
Sorry, I was looking at the planet. It
If
looked
it's
like
a good turn of phrase. It's a good turn of phrase.
The planet looked like a calculator that I used in VCE.
VCE?
Yeah.
Not everyone did VCE, Bartek. I did HSC.
Yeah, that's why you're not as smart as me.
That's why I don't know Polish. Now, I had a big argument. I was watching this with my girlfriend the other day, and I said, how short is Astrid? Now, watch this. Like, I'm like, oh, how tall is Amanda Bynes? She's like, what, supposed to be 14 in this film? How tall is she? Like, look how she towers over this woman. And then the argument pursued of, no, the platform's raised, but then, no, it isn't, because she's still taller than her, and the chick's now standing there. So I looked up the actress's height, and oddly enough...
Astrid or Amanda?
Astrid.
Yep.
Amanda is 5'8", so about common height.
Okay, it's 2 inches shorter
Astrid
than me.
is the same height as Danny DeVito.
Okay, so she's short.
She is short.
She's
And we
mini-me.
never see her again, might I add. So I thought it would be great...
That's something you'll be saying a lot about in this movie. Like, already we've had a few characters that you'll never see again.
You'll be surprised what comes back, because there
bullies,
are
the
there are actually
semicolon.
quite a lot
Lee
of...
Majors is in this movie. Why is Lee Majors in this? No,
Look at that sick calculator he's got.
It's not a calculator.
I know it isn't.
It's his, like, Palm Pilot or whatever. Organizer.
Yeah.
I love... Yeah, so... Yeah, we never see her again. There's many characters you never see again, which I think is a part of the brilliance of the film, I must say. It is the fact that characters are there for no real reason.
Yeah, like 20 seconds ago when that extra walked in front of the camera. Did the director want that? I've been an extra in things. That doesn't seem like something they do.
Well, you know, Look, I'm not saying you're got better film knowledge than the film that's talking about behind the scenes of films. But clearly, oh my god, clearly you have a better one. Oh, now we're going to enter the next montage soon. And this
is the childhood dream area.
This is the 2000s montage. And I'm not joking. Like, the other one was just a montage. This is 2000s montage. Like, this is the epitome of the early 2000s. It was a crazy time. You know, the 2000s, or the noughties, I always felt like in the moment never had like an identity of its own. Like each era, each decade has its own identity, and like you're living in the 2000s. You felt like it didn't have one, but then you look back and you're like, boy, did it. Boy, did it. And
I'm still getting that sense, but yeah.
Really? Like, if you just look at anything Spice Girls related, that they really set what was going to be the 2000s, really. Spice Girls...
Weren't the Spice Girls most popular in the 90s?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, they were the catalyst of how things looked, how music became, how things just went 2000s.
Yeah,
like,
this is like a very girly costumes thing and him goofing off with a bunch of props.
Like, if you played Spice Girls right now and said this is Spice Girls
look at
film
her hair
clip...
in that shot.
If you said this is Spice Girls film clip, you wouldn't be surprised. Now, I wish we looked up how old she was. Because there's that question of, like, how old are they actually in comparison to the characters they are playing?
I'm pretty sure this was after the Amanda show. She's definitely older than 12.
She's 14, clearly.
Well, her character is, yeah.
If you clearly listened to the film.
Most actors...
As we will be reminded. She's in fact...
But most actors 14. Kind of play a bit younger.
Oh, true. So you're saying she's 42 years old?
She's not even 42 right now. Oh, helmet. Oh, cowboy. Sheriff. Buddy.
No.
This is how you do commentary. Just say what you see.
Oh, yeah.
Skulls, ukulele.
Trumpet.
Doot.
Oh, he's going for it. He's trumpeting it.
Now, Will, I gotta ask, why did you want to come here and talk about Big Fat Liar? Other than me persisting that I needed you to talk about Big Fat Liar.
Well, Ryan, I'm not really a why guy. I'm more of a why not. And so I asked myself, why not go down to Ryan's place and talk about Big Fat Liar? And there really wasn't too much more that went into my thought process.
Well, that was a beautiful statement.
You guys should know that Will is Ryan's weakness.
Everyone's my weakness except for you, Bartek. I hate you.
That's why I'm the co-host.
Get out. Oh, yeah.
We did our research and we found out that when co-hosts hate each other, it makes for a successful show.
Yeah. So, whoops. Dropped my pen. Bad hosting. What I loved is I had to rewind the scene because I didn't realize that annoying ass noise that Turk is making is like him turning on the car.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I thought he was having a stroke.
No, I knew exactly what he was doing. I just didn't know why.
That's also something we're going to be saying a lot in this. I knew what he was doing, but I didn't know why.
But this was like the only thing that like got him. Like, okay, yeah, you're interrupting them. We've heard this joke already. And now he's on their side. Yeah. Sorry, that was a spoiler.
Oh, how dare you.
Guys, we're just spoiling this everything. I feel bad for
Spit-
everyone who's never
spit
seen
and
this
spoiler.
master voice before.
Spit and spoiler. So, who is your favourite character in the film, guys?
My favorite character is Marty doesn't get away with it. Oh, spoiler.
Oh,
I'm so sorry, guys.
What about you?
Oh, well, it really is a character piece at heart, so it's very difficult to pick a definitive one. I'm going to go with Mr. Funny Bones.
I knew it. I
to
knew that you were going to mention Mr. Funny Bones. I knew when I asked this question, Mr. Funny Bones is going to be Will's answer for sure. Now, there is a lot I could choose from. I mean, I'm going through my notes, making sure that there's characters I'm not forgetting, such as Sulu from Star Trek, Twinkies.
Oh, this director guy.
Oh, yeah, the director. Here he is. I'll get into who I love the most, but it's kind of hard not to say Marty Wolf, because there's his face wall again.
Yeah.
Now, look, this is him being the director, and clearly the reference is that this director is supposed to be like John Woo, Face Off. He's all obsessed with slow-mo and doves and everything and multiple cameras. And it's so good because, then Marty Wolf is racist to him. And it kind of comes out of nowhere, but at the same time, it does make sense because Marty Wolf is an asshole. But I did not know until I looked up the credits that the director's name, like the director within this film, the guy we just saw, his character's name is Dusty Wong. And I just find that immensely amusing that his name is Dusty Wong.
I like how he's kind of like explaining to kids, this is how an overly passionate director is when exaggerated.
Yeah, and I love how, again, Shatner acting. It's so funny. He does the most Shatner acting in the film. Like, just then, he's like...
The director?
Yeah. He's like, there will be birds everywhere we go. Like, Sulu from Star Trek. Just a moment ago, he's just like, there will be birds everywhere we go. Multiple cameras needed. And I find it funny because he is Sulu in the new Star Trek movies, but he's being Captain Kirk. It was just an emotional roller coaster ride. Would you... Now, my favourite character in the film, I like Duncan's wife. The wife of the president of the film company. She's
right, yeah.
Yeah, he's like...
I was like, who the hell's Duncan?
Duncan is the very sexy man. Oh, look, here it is. What are you, like, was it like the thing of Twinkies? So, like, why is he making fun of, like, I noted down, like, this is the scene in which, really, I think this scene we're about to have here with Marty Wolf raises the most questions for me, personally. I mean, sure, Mr. Funny Bones raises many questions, but we'll get to him. How did Marty Wolf get into such a high position being this much of an asshole?
He mentioned... Oh, sorry, you keep going?
We'll get there. How did he then manage to maintain his position at being this much of an asshole. Because the problem is like, at the end, spoiler, at the end, he gets fired, and throughout the film, it's like referenced that he was going to lose his job if the film doesn't do well. But it's not because of his behavior towards others, it's because the films are crap. So, how does he keep his job with such an asshole nature? Like, the scene, he's like, oh sure, let me look at this card for your like grandson's party, and he rips it apart.
Yeah, you can see where
how
it's
does
going.
he keep his job, and how did he get so high in his job? Bartek, what's your answer?
Well, I was just going to say that in the earlier scene, he said, like, one hit can, like, really make you. So I assume that one of the 3 movies that we saw in the poster in that fat lady scene was, like, the film that made him, and that kind of kept him in a high position. Kind of like M. Night. Didn't M. Night just make a bunch of good films, and people, like, built him up to be, like, the next great guy, and he... Failed, but, like, because of that reputation he used to have, he's still up there.
There's E.T. for you.
Oh yeah, I love how they look at E.T. and then they're like, oh my god, Grandma Pearl.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, like, oh, they're going to talk about E.T. now? It's like, Grandma Pearl, I'm like, she doesn't look that much like E.T.
So, Will, give me your thoughts about Grandma Pearl.
Is this the bit where I think... Because
we're
about to see... Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to see poetry in motion.
In visual form.
And there it is. There it is.
Do you believe that someone wrote this?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, the fact that she's, like, lifting up wool, like something light, that's a classic joke. But I think the juxtaposition of, the really energetic, dumb bully is really what made that. I like how Amanda looks like she's having fun in this bit.
She isn't, though, is she? She's probably getting prepared for her breakdown. I'm not saying that this ruined everyone's careers, but, look. I didn't see Mr. Fantastic here in the new Fantastic Four movie.
Guys, I got a question. Did you pick up on the foreshadowing with the birthday card in that last scene?
Where
the clown on the birthday card is blue with orange hair.
Oh my god.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that.
It's poetry. Each stanza rhymes with the next one.
This movie has many layers that I did not take into consideration when I watched it as a kid. That's the thing about masterpieces. As a kid, you know they're good, but you don't know the intricate layers that are held in them. I'm not saying that this is...
Sorry, I was just like, there was a neon sign in the background that said fun.
You can see Bartek is more into the background than the plot.
Well, this is what we call mise en scene.
It's mise en scene.
It's a word that you have to use.
Mise en scene.
You have to use the word mise en scene if you want to be in our position.
I'm not saying that this film is better than Citizen Kane.
Like that, I didn't like the fact that they didn't put the sunglasses on in synchronicity. She was Amanda was too slow.
And
okay, well,
here we go.
Will, what's your thoughts about Mr. Funnybones?
It truly is the only thing, other than himself, that Marty Wolf actually cares about.
Yeah, but I got that from that part. But then when he starts beating it, I was like, is it a friendly relationship? But he doesn't really abuse it after this part, does he?
No, he does.
Does he?
He does. Yeah, he does. I like how no one is mentioning why does he have it.
Why'd you take the sunglasses off when you put them on?
Why does he have Mr. Funnybones is never brought up, and why does he have it? Nobody in the film knows about Mr. Funnybones except for these guys, I feel, because it's if you knew about Mr. Funnybones, wouldn't you ruin this guy's career? If you knew about this guy sleeps with a toy monkey.
Well, you mentioned before, you said, I think you said, why doesn't anyone really acknowledge Mr. Funnybones and what he does? But I don't mean this as a joke, but you can pretty much tell just by looking at this, watching the film. He wakes up in a bed
with a monkey.
With a monkey, so clearly that means that they're close. And then he says good morning to her. It's the first thing he does. So again,
Sex.
reinforces but it reinforces the fact that they're close.
Sex,
and then he starts playing with him, and it's a friendly little thing. So clearly, they are close.
They are, as they said in Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, buddies. I like how he dives into the clearly different blue water than the water. Like, it's so blue that he doesn't notice. Yeah, here it is. The trademark of the film. A wet, slimy...
Did you say there was a continuity error in this bit?
Yeah. A wet, slimy, blue Paul Giamatti is the selling point of this film.
Yeah, but did you say something about like his trunks were not the right
Yeah,
color?
look, he dived into blue dye. It should have dyed his pants, but they are on blue.
Do you reckon the pants are actually just like anti-blue and that means that it saved his dick and ass?
Yeah, it saved his dick and ass. And now he's dancing...
I love how he doesn't notice the fact that he's blue, even though he has his hands and arms in front of his face.
And still now he's like looking at that. Well, we can't assume he was looking. His eyes are closed.
His eyes are closed. Give the film credit where it's due. Now, Psycho reference.
Yeah,
I do like how this film makes film references because it is set in the film universe. But at the same time,
who would get it?
It's a kid. No, don't say who would get it.
I'm sorry.
What kid is gonna...
Taking into account the audience.
Best reaction in film ever. That was the best reaction to
I was kind of disappointed that it didn't like go to the universe. It just kept like moving away from the house. Like, show us something more.
It should have zoomed out to the world and then the universe, and then kept zooming out, and then it's like zooms and out to like follicles, and then you zoomed out. It's from his head again. I love it. Mr. Funnybones haunts me, actually, because I'm like, okay, when you're writing something, when did the writer go, you know what this film's missing? Mr. Funnybones. It needs Marty Wolf to have something that he loves. So why not an inanimate object that is in fact a kid's toy that is a monkey with its mouth open in a sucking-like motion? Why?
Well, first of all, the thing with sucking is you kind of need to close something so you can get the sucking action going. Second of all, somehow I don't think he was ever really absent from earlier drafts of the script. I feel like they would have put him in there.
So
because this film's a masterpiece.
See,
yeah.
Mr. Funnybones is the key to all of this, and so the film was built around him. It wasn't...
Originally, the original name of the film was Big Fat Funny Bones. I love this. Okay. Now, the thing is, this film, I'm not saying it defies logic, but there is this moment in which this sequence from him getting out, realizing he's blue, to him getting his car, spoiler alert, run over by a monster truck, is probably the most realistic aspect of the film ever. Because he is like, I have a meeting. I have to go to it, but I'm blue. And I need makeup women. And he phones up this woman. He's like, I need makeup women. And they're like, they're busy. It's like, well, I can't go. I'm blue. And I just love the fact that she's just like, oh, everyone gets sad now and then. But it is, look, a cinematic masterpiece where it's just like, no, I am actually physically blue.
Yeah, it's like, taking into account what you just said, like, this film defies logic. Let's put that into perspective. All of the film up to this point defied logic, and then it's like, let's now stop and use real logic. Of course, and then it goes, naturally, because of all this shit that's happened, he is really stressed and things are not going his way. So, yes, it is perfect.
I'm confused.
This part isn't, though.
Well, how dare you? This part's great. I got very, very confused during this moment where random slow motion is used, and then they got sunglasses, and then I realized, oh, it's the Matrix, but with Frankie Muniz.
And then it just...
Now, I'm not saying the Matrix could have been better with Paul Giamatti in it as Neo, but how good...
Would he still be blue with orange hair?
Obviously.
Wait a second. He doesn't understand what she's saying, but she said he likes to play a little rough, and he said, I invented rough, so he understood that part?
No. Bartek, I'm so glad you're here, because I said this when I was watching it the other day.
Oh, really?
And I had to rewind it. If you guys are listening to this, and you're also wondering how come Marty Wolf is understanding her, but doesn't understand her, rewind it, because it is actually a multi-layered film. I told you before, this film is intense in how the continuity is optional. This is a movie. She says the words "a bit rough" in English.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she's speaking in Spanish, and then she says at the end, "a bit rough" or something or other, and that's why he can understand rough. So that's why he says, "I'm very rough," which sounds a bit rapey if you wanted to go there. But yes, I wrote in this part of the film, Marty Wolf loves kids. Kids love Marty Wolf.
You know what? This is a bit of a bad thought, but like when it was showing the like cuts between the kids and then him, the kids and him, after every one, he like made a comment, but then when it cut to the black kid, he stopped making comments.
Ooh.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
It means I think we just lost headphones. Oh, we're back. We're back.
I bumped it.
Nope, I'm perfect. I got this little dangly part that isn't shared with you guys.
So, Marty Wolf is breaking down at this point. Now, okay, okay. Could you find for me, Bartek, a good Marty Wolf speech or quote or something? Because this is the big question I've got to ask. Along with why the hell... I'm still not over. I still don't accept... Well, Mr. Funnybones would have been there early in the drafts. I mean, I want to know the catalyst thought of why Mr. Funnybones was in the film. Like, when I'm writing a movie, which I haven't done, but if I was writing a movie, I don't know if I would have come up with Mr. Funnybones and never explained it in the movie. But the writer of this film came up with Mr. Funnybones and then never explained it in the movie. All we know is it's a tool for the kid, Frankie... I'll never use his name, for Shepard to steal later on, to prove that Marty actually cares about something enough to risk his career over. But why is it a monkey? And why is it a toy one? Why couldn't it have been his dog or something? Or like a cat or a guinea pig, an animal, a pet? Or do they think that, no, if we encourage kids to steal animals... this will ruin everything that we are for in this movie.
I like this song.
I like the fact that he actually figures out how to beat the car horn, but doesn't know how to use the brakes. He's like, I'll drive, but I won't figure out how to use the brakes. The masher.
Here's Mr. Brian Turk, the second Turk of the film.
I'm glad that you looked it up.
I'm so glad you're here. So... I like how there's also a setup and payoff for this granny. Like, we saw her before, and she's just like, up yours, blue boy, and now she, like, ruins his life. Now... without
intending to, mind you.
I think she intended it.
Well, no, she didn't know that this...
No, she knows.
Sort of effeminately dressed muscle man would come and beat him up.
I would.
She's acknowledging that it's about to happen right here.
She's just like, I'm gone. Suck it, blue boy.
You know that if this wasn't a kid's film, she'd like totally give the finger and call him like a fag or something.
I believe she said "eat my boobies" or something.
No, she said bloomers.
What was it, bloomers?
I thought she said "eat my boobs."
She said something.
This is the only moment in the film, except for this bit here, just before he's talking to the muscle man. It's the only moment in the film where Marty Wolf is actually being nice and reasonable. He's like, I'm sorry, it wasn't my fault, you see. I'm willing to get over my details and whatever. But then this guy is unreasonable, and Marty Wolf doesn't know how to accept that.
Even his eyes are kind of like... he's like been through a lot of shit. And like, even though it's like something bad's happening, he's acknowledging it.
He is Duncan. You were asking who Duncan is.
No, wait, you explained who it was. Like,
but
the wife.
Look how I think he's the sexiest person in this film. I don't know. I'm not into men, but Duncan... Oh, wait, can we take a moment to pause? This guy has the best joke in the film.
Oh, yeah.
That is the quintessential joke of this film.
But it's like, it has to be accompanied by his laugh. It can't just be...
Yeah. It's not just like, oh, yeah. But like, they did tell me nothing about picking up a little blue man. As I was saying, I think Duncan's the sexiest character.
Who's that actor that plays Duncan?
Duncan? I didn't look it up, unfortunately. I think it is Sexiest Man Alive who played him.
Mm. That's his full name.
He should be in the Old Spice commercials. Instead of...
Other sexy man alive.
Isaiah Mustafa, was that his name?
I do not know. I know Terry Crews is in Old Spice ads.
Okay. Oh,
look, it's...
there's Sonic. The first time I watched this, I thought that was Amanda for a second.
Oh, my God.
But it's not.
That would have been an interesting twist.
Amanda Bynes plays 2 characters.
So, did you find me an interesting Marty Wolf quote?
No, because I was listening to you.
Get a Marty Wolf quote. Well, Will, do you have anything in your notes that you put down that you feel like you need to talk about? Because Will also wrote notes down.
Okay, here's a quote.
Give it to me.
He picks the last one.
Okay. Will, tell us some facts or some interesting tangent you want to go on with this beautiful film.
Well, let's see. I don't have any tangents at the moment, but guys, what do you think the ink on... What do you think they used to colour Paul Giamatti for this film?
Blue.
I know this fact. But
Ryan knows it, but what do you think, Bartek?
what kind of dye did they use?
I don't know types of dye, so you'd have to tell me.
Tattoo ink.
Tattooing.
Sprayed all over him in several layers.
Okay.
And it had to be topped up.
Oh yeah, it had to be topped up. That's the problem with the film.
Whoa! I never noticed she's wearing like bananas on her feet.
Oh yeah, banana feet Bynes. That's what they nicknamed her after this movie.
Oh, I didn't know you knew so much about Amanda
I
Bynes.
do. I had to learn everything about every actor in this film.
Well, there's a continuity error because you already said you didn't know much about her.
Sexiest Man Alive?
Oh, this is the part with
Where's Screech?
Screech. Is that Screech?
No, the next one.
That Screech?
No, that's Keenan Thompson. This is
that
Screech.
Screech?
Yes.
Is she Screech?
No, the guy.
Oh.
Bartek, are you Screech?
Worst film in the world. And then it's funny.
Is that Screech? Oh, it's Paul Giamatti's Screech, right?
The
the
director, Sean Levi, actually has a cameo in this
Really?
scene too, but I can't see him. But perhaps someone else can.
He's my favorite character, the wife, and he keeps getting her name wrong, and he's just like, whatever, Shanae, and she's like, I am not Shanae. I like her so much in this film because, again, we really don't see her again, but I just like how she's a strong, independent female character, but at this, she's not having any of it. She's not having any of it. She's probably one of the best female characters in film. Because they don't rely on her sexuality. They don't rely on this. She's just this guy's wife who does not want to be called Shanana or something or other. I'm not saying that...
Monty doesn't rely on her sexuality.
I don't know. She's given weird faces to the film. No, she doesn't. Or does she? I don't know. I have to pay attention a bit more to Monty. You got me there. But no...
Amanda Bynes doesn't use her
sexuality. Yes, she does. She goes through... different things, and there's many sexual innuendos in this film.
Frankie Muniz doesn't use his sexuality.
He doesn't have one.
He does. Damn, I was going to go for a gag about his eyebrows, but you've just topped what I was going to do. But more trivia.
What did you write down as facts? You got notes here up the wazoo.
But what did you got? The dye, the blue tattoo ink they've got on Paul Giamatti stayed on his feet for several months, apparently. So
okay,
after this film was over, for several months, he was walking around with blue feet.
Well, he's feeling blue. I would after making this.
Does Duncan ever question why when he met him back in that previous scene, why he was blue?
No!
Did he question it?
Well, but he's going to explain it in the next scene.
Yeah, but no, if I was there, I'm like, what are you being blue about? Like, nobody's said to her, I don't think anyone's really said to her, why are you blue?
I mean, I know it's a party, but...
Well, here's where I did research on the film.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone actually does know about his relationship with Mr. Funnybones, and this is part of the course with that.
Did Duncan just not want to be racist?
Oh, yeah, he didn't want to be racist against Smurfs.
Well, like I said again, he didn't comment on the black kid.
Now... I asked Bartek to grab me a Marty Wolf quote.
And I half-heartedly did.
And he half-heartedly did. He grabbed the smallest quote that he could grab. Why I wanted a quote was, Paul Giamatti is a serious actor. Like, yeah, he does funny things every now and then, but he's like an Oscar-nominated performer. He's one of the best actors out there alive today. And he's in this. I want to know, we're actors, Will, Bartek, and myself. We did drama. And... there's processes of going through a character that you have to go through. I want to know what Paul Giamatti's process was for Marty Wolf. I want to know when he got, when he said, let's dance, funny bones, or dancing. Also, we didn't mention how marvelous of a dancer Paul Giamatti is.
Well, Mr. Funny Bones was leading it.
Yeah, but
To be fair, they're both great dancers.
But I just want to know, like, with him, what's going through his line deliveries? What's he going through in his head when he's like prepared? Like, you know, we prepare to learn.
Put the paper down, all right? It's next to the microphone. Oh, stop, Ryan! Don't slap me.
I'm never gonna put the paper down. You're never gonna give me up. You're never gonna let me go.
Well, then, when the audience does the poll for their favorite co-host, I will win.
Well, too bad you're a co-host and I'm the host, so tough. No, I want to know with Paul Giamatti, is he acting? Or did they just dye him blue and chucked him onto a set and made a story around his reactions? Because I feel like he's not acting at points. Because it's Paul Giamatti. I want to know, like, what's going through his head. Like, when he says, you know, classic lines like, you know, wouldn't it be a problem since the headset is super glued to my ear? You know, stuff like that. Or, you know, like later on, he has the give me back my monkey. I want to know, like, when, you know, he's learning his lines, he's just like, give me back my monkey? No. Paul, you can do better. Give me back my monkey. No. You can, come on, Paul, phone it in. Do it for the money. Give me back my monkey. Yep, that's it. Nailed it. Done. And that's when they say, we were filming the whole entire time. And he's like, what? I didn't know it was in a movie. I'm not saying...
I didn't know it was in a movie.
He doesn't... I'm saying...
This reminds me of those stories when you hear about, like, the making of Doctor Strangelove or How to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. How that one actor, like, did joke takes where he was really over the top and then they end up being used in the film.
Yeah, and he hated it. Yeah, George C. Scott. I love the idea that this is a documentary. like Paul Giamatti's being followed around. Now, this is the best... I say this a lot. Multi-layered film. Multi-layered. Unappreciated masterpiece. Not enough people talk about this. Probably Paul Giamatti's best work. This is one of my favourite scenes in which you think he's going to call the dad. Just him thinking it, and then he's just like, yeah, well, you know, get it in writing. Like, that's a lesson that Frankie Muniz should have learned.
Oh, you're right. Amanda Bynes is kind of sexualized. You can see her belly button.
Yeah, I told you. She is. Well, it was the 2000s. Midriffs were in.
My God, you can see her belly button. What a harlot.
Yeah, man, and Monty, she's doing all these faces like, oh no, why are you doing this?
And look, you can see Paul Giamatti's neck. What a harlot. A blue harlot. Wait.
I love that. That was one of my favourites. He is just so genuinely honest there. That's what makes me think he's not acting. He was just like, huh, what a day.
I think Monty needs to open her eyes more.
I think she needs to, like, make weirder faces. Like, he just goes, huh, what a day. Like,
I think Will should have played Monty.
I think Will should have played Rocco here. And he could be like, you two guys get packed up.
Has Rocco been in something? He looks familiar.
Rocco was in His Modern Life. I do believe that.
That was a good joke. Tell it again.
I got a chuckle.
Oh, yeah, this is the scene in which... You were talking about sexualization before of her. I'm pretty sure that this is the scene in which I wrote... sex? Like, it's a question mark. Like, are they gonna have sex? Because I think it's this one. Or I don't know if we've passed it. He's gonna have a boring conversation with his dad. Maybe it's not this one. There's some scene which we may have already passed it, where it's them two in this warehouse and they get really close, and the stuff they're saying to each other and the way they're looking at each other, it's like if they were adults, it would be the start of a sex scene. To me, but maybe that's just because, you know, I'm assuming that this is an erotic thriller.
I'd say that's accurate.
Yeah. I like what a good security guard he is. He's asleep. What a stereotype. I'm upset about the injustice done.
So we're going to call up the security guards union. Are they the only people with a legitimate reason to dislike Big Fat Liar?
Nah, man.
They're the only ones.
If you call them, they won't answer the phone because the call center people are asleep.
Yeah. Oh, here's something I asked. Why does she care?
She wanted an adventure.
Yeah, but ever since she came here, anytime he asks for her help, she does the, no, I don't want to, I'm not going to, and then she does like she was forced to.
That's just...
Why is she here? Like, she doesn't want to help her friend. She just wanted to go to Hollywood and just be, what? Exactly, live in the warehouse?
Look at that dinosaur.
And look, there's a neon sign that says magazine. What is the symbolism of that?
I don't know, tell me.
Oh, dude, Monty just... what does that one say?
I thought it said tailoring.
Tail off no?
It's payback time.
Oh, Mr. Feynman's got the seat.
Now look, this is clearly... Like, he's wearing a blue outfit. He's choosing between blue outfits. It's
with
poetry.
white.
As Will says, poetry in motion.
Monty has a very loud collection of shirts throughout this film. If you watch back and look at his shirts throughout this film, they're
Monty or Marty?
Well, I mean, where does the actor begin and the character end? It's a different question.
Oh, there's
right.
the
Monty
security
is
guard.
the writer. Monty is the writer.
No, yeah, she's the writer. Yeah. No. There's a security guard. He's joined them now. Why?
Yeah, it gave him his own shot, like, hey kid, I'm here now.
When did we establish that he had a problem with Marty? We never established this. If it was Rocco, perhaps...
Maybe he's from the future.
Oh, there's dancing more. Oh, we missed it. I love how the picture of Marty Wolf is a completely different look to what he looks like in the movie. Like, he's got a full beard.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be like a... What's his name? Steve Jobs kind of director.
He looks like he is Paul Giamatti in a different movie. Like, they just went, oh man, he was in Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, here's Amanda Bynes being crazy.
Oh my god.
Oh, another weird face.
Yeah.
We should do a drinking game where each time someone does a weird face, especially Monty, the character of Monty, you have a shot, and by the end you'll be dead. It's showtime.
Paul Giamatti looks like he's going to university in that shot. Oh, when in this scene, spoiler alert, he's going to get driven. Paul Giamatti says something that I think was a bit too explicit to say in this day and age.
Which is?
He calls...
Oh, he calls him, like, Retardio.
Yeah, he calls him, like, Ricky Retardo or something.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa!
I noted that down. I'm like, Ricky Retardo? What the...
It's brutal.
Scrub. Oh, like, also he has to explain... Okay, we skipped something very early on. I need to talk about this. Do you guys remember how...
There it is!
Ricky Retardo. I got a movie to shoot. Do you guys remember the explanation for how they got the money to travel to Hollywood?
He did a bunch of work.
What kind of work?
Babysitting and
Lawn mowing.
Yeah, lawn mowing.
He said specifically, it took me 3 years to save up. He is 14 years old. He is 14 years old. What kid, when they are 11, is saving up their money from lawn mowing and all that for 3 years? I had a theory. It's now breaking Malcolm in the Middle, in which I think that the character of Jason Shepard was in fact a kingpin in the meth industry, and he is manufacturing high quality methamphetamines, and that's why he has the drug money to travel here. Now, Bartek, you're looking at me skeptical, but the evidence is all there that this is...
I'm just listening to you because I don't know anything about Malcolm in the Middle.
Well, I'm also talking about Breaking Bad. Spoiler. The evidence is there. His dad is in Breaking Bad. Connection enough. Malcolm in the Middle, again, his dad is in Breaking Bad. So what is it with Malcolm's dads being in Breaking Bad? I don't know. Sayonara, loser. And
that was Japanese for goodbye, loser.
I understood that. I understood what you were referencing. And I wrote here too, Turk can act. Because I was like, oh, he wasn't actually crying.
And he says...
It's a multi-layered film.
Those were real tears.
Well, and it was, adjacent to the fact that you could see the Hollywood sign in the background. I like how advanced, their thing there is. They have to announce to everyone that, complete. Now, earlier in the film, we were talking about characters who go... We were talking about the sister specifically. She's never seen again, so she dies. And I said, well, you could say the same about, Jaleel White. Because after this...
Oh, you mean Sonic?
Yeah, Sonic. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to typecast him as his role in this film, which is Jaleel White. Sonic the Hedgehog, he goes really fast to the desert here. And then he keeps driving to the desert, even when he's done with his part of the plan. And you never see him again. He's just in the desert.
Do we not see him again?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I believe he just keeps on driving after the scene.
Look, that's when the movie... Oh, yeah, here's something. Where's Grandma Pearl?
Didn't she go?
I think she's in the cinema.
I think she's in the cinema.
No, but what I'm saying is, where's that pointless storyline that they shoved down our throats?
Why did you say pointless?
Because
whoa, Ryan. There were dumbbells made of wool.
Why the fuck did you say pointless?
There was nothing pointless about that storyline.
You got me. It wasn't pointless.
Yeah, here it is.
And he just keeps going.
He's gone. Jaleel White, everyone. Or as we like to call him.
Whoa, that was
Sonic.
some clip art cactus.
So guys, the guy who directed this film,
Sean
Levi, he has had quite a storied career. He's done the Cheaper by the Dozen movies.
Wasn't this his first big feature film?
I believe so. And he's done the Night of the Museum movies.
And Real Steel with Hugh Jackman.
Surprisingly enough, Real Steel,
Jackman.
which I've never seen. But one time I was channel surfing, and I came across this. Someone was interviewing a jockey after they'd just won a race on their horse, and they asked what inspired him, and he said, "Well, I watched that film Real Steel about 20 times with me and the horse." I'm paraphrasing here, and that just really inspired us. So I do wonder, what could a man and a horse achieve if they watched Big Fat Liar 20 times?
What could any man achieve?
Could I ask the Asian guy, Sulu, whatever?
Yeah, Sulu from Star Trek. Yeah, or Harold from Harold and Kumar.
Is his only gripe against Marty the fact that he can't have a bunch of cameras?
Yeah, and doves and birds, and also the racism.
Yeah. Was this a reference to a horror movie?
No, it's a reference to Bad Boys 2.
Oh.
Have you seen Bad Boys 2, guys?
This is the
like the iconic
successor to Bad
Look
Boys
at that
2.
face. Then that should have been the poster.
Was there like an old horror film where like a guy was running down a runway while a plane was trying to gun him down?
I think you're thinking of North by Northwest with Alfred Hitchcock, in which it's like he's running and this plane is trying to shoot at him.
Yeah, like
trying to gun him down or hit him down, and he's running in a cornfield and running on the road.
Yeah, like I've only seen Psycho of his films, but I've seen parodies of that scene, like in That 70s Show and stuff. So I thought that's what this was.
And look,
until he landed.
Look, Lee Majors is in it. Forgot about that. He was there. He was established earlier.
Yeah, he was the guy with the clown.
Oh, he sat through Platoon. It's funny because Platoon is a movie, and this is a movie. Oh, he looked into the camera.
Well, yeah, the joke is that like he's old and that he was in like war or something.
Yeah. It's a funny joke because war is funny.
Fuck yeah, man!
Makes me laugh.
It makes all Polish.
Dude, we're Polish.
It makes
we
us.
know war is funny.
Oh yeah, we had a good time. We laughs all round. Laughs.
He was in the concentration camp for so many years.
Who, Paul Giamatti?
My great grandfather.
Oh well, he's gone now, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Fantastic and girl at the airport.
I think she said something at some point.
She said, I think she says like how she's disappointed in like the son. Like she's like, I'm disappointed in you, Jason.
Thank you very much, woman who exists.
Oh boy, this movie. So we've got many classic moments of cinema that have been imitated since this. I'm sure that's what's that movie with The Rock in which he's in a helicopter saving people that came out this
was that San Andreas?
San Andreas?
I've only played the video game.
I don't think it had anything to do with the GTA game.
I know it doesn't.
But
San Andreas, people know. You guys know. It's The Rock. Look, this film has been imitated so many times. I haven't seen that new Rock movie, but he drives a helicopter in it. And
so it's a reference to this movie.
Yeah,
it's a reference to a film that hadn't come out yet.
This film... It's either a year before or after GTA 3, and that. Oh, you couldn't drive a helicopter in that though. So,
No,
but it's before Vice City, and Vice City was the first one where you could ride a helicopter.
Anything with a helicopter in it, including real life, was inspired by Big Fat Liar. I know you're saying, Ryan, helicopters were used before Big Fat Liar. Yeah, well, that's how this movie transcends time.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Leave us alone. We like Big Fat Liar.
It is such a masterpiece. It is able to inspire people retroactively.
Bartek, seriously though, can I ask you, would you watch this film again?
Yeah, I would.
Would you watch this film again?
Well, I watched it yesterday, and I'm watching it again now.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So it stands to reason that I would watch it again.
Would you show this to your kids?
Maybe.
Oh
They
my
don't
god,
exist.
that face.
But that is something.
That's him in the poster too.
See, now those are open eyes. Monty could learn from that.
See, he's been blue, and now he's red.
He's upset.
And they say black people are coloured.
Wow, racism from within the commentary of the film that has racist moments.
Wait, with that snack.
She's eating cheese.
Yeah, it
and
looked
bologna
disgusting.
Or something.
Was that? Yeah,
No, it's like dry
there's a
cheese and
biscuit there.
salami.
There's a biscuit there. See,
No, I thought it was salami.
No, there's
I think there's a
salami
biscuit.
and a cracker underneath or something. Yeah.
Oh,
because I thought you just had the salami
Wait,
and
guys,
the cheese.
guys, here is the moment.
Yeah, you touched that paper, Ryan.
Everybody be calm for a moment. This is cinematic gold. Oscar-worthy performances.
Squeaks.
Oh my god. Give me back my monkey. It touches me to the core.
It actually is really well choreographed.
That touches me to the core, that scene. It touches me in many places that are inappropriate for a kid's film to touch. But it does it.
I think you mean the other way around. You shouldn't be touching kids. Places.
I'm
coming, funny boys.
I wrote Grand Theft. I wrote something there when he steals a car. I wrote Grand Theft Wolf.
A few months ago, I played GTA 5 for the first time.
So did I.
And one of the first missions is you chase your friend and you drive through a movie studio. Obviously, that was inspired by this film.
Yeah, that was inspired by Big Fat Liar. Big Fat Liar inspired many things. I was a kid when I saw this. As kids are, you're directionless in life. You don't know where you want to be in, say, 5 years' time, 10 years' time, 20 years' time. But
I'd like to point out that Amanda Bynes crashed a car. Women drivers, am I right?
Oh, brutal, Bartek.
This is an edgy...
You're unstoppable.
Edgy podcast.
Edgy.
14-year-old girls can't drive.
Yep, pretty much. So, I was directionless when I watched this when 9, you said? Perhaps. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. But then I saw this movie, and it inspired me to be in movies and to be an actor. That is a true story. I'm not fabricating that in any way. Seeing Paul Giamatti get wet many times in this film, nice soaking wet Paul Giamatti, made me go, I want to do that. I want to be an actor. I want to be that water that touches Paul Giamatti. And that is how I am who I am today. Thanks, writers and creators of Big Fat Liar.
Ryan, that was beautiful.
Yeah, when I watched this film yesterday, I retrospectively wanted to be an actor when I saw Screech call Saved by the Bell awful.
My God, Bartek, did you see that? There was someone in a lobster costume.
Yeah,
it's
and
an
look,
Amanda Show reference.
Yeah, and it is. This is the continuity error. It's in his bag. It's in his hands.
It's because he grabs it.
He didn't. It wasn't a shot of him grabbing it. It was a shot of it already in his hands.
It's because by this point in this part of the film, this is the cameras that we see from the people filming this segment, like the John Woo ripoff director with all the doves and all the stuff. All these camera shots we see are actually the film within the film. So again, multi-layered.
Dude, I am such a Ricky Retardo.
You are such a Ricky Retardo. Grunts. Now, why does he roar? I don't know.
Because it's funny.
He's a
Doves.
wolf.
Doves. Yeah, he's hungry like the wolf.
That song actually played.
It
earlier,
did play.
didn't it?
I love before it plays, he just announces hungry.
How come there isn't any song by the Monkees?
That is a good question. Again, what is with Mr. Funnybones? I'll never understand. Maybe this is like the rosebud of Citizen Kane. It is such a contextually important event in the film that scholars will be arguing for decades upon its worthiness of being in the film and what it represents towards the character. Oddly enough, I think Big Fat Liar and Citizen Kane have a lot in common. They're both about an egotistical man's rise to power and his fall after his ego interferes with his reputation and his sanity and his work. This film inspired Citizen Kane.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't watch shitty films. I only watch Big Fat Liar.
Yep, we don't like none of that Academy Award winning shit in here.
Hey, who am I? I want to make Big Fat Liar.
I do believe that is God.
No, that was Orson Welles.
Well, there you go.
Here's Orson Welles going to McDonald's. Give me a Big Mac.
Let's see. Oh, we didn't count if there's 12 cameras or how many cameras they said there were.
Dude, it's a multi-layered film. There are more than 12 cameras. But they didn't use them all.
Oh, look at this. Such a boss. This character should have had his own film. 12 different camera angles. Birds flying around. By the by, Confucius says, Kastang! What is that? I don't understand. He made his own catchphrase at the end of the movie, like Kastang.
It's Chinese for, yeah.
Bartek, you speak Chinese?
Yep, spit in Chinese.
Sexy man. I'm still saying Duncan, the president, is sexy.
He should have played Lando Calrissian.
And then wait.
Twinkies.
And the Twinkies come back.
This film, again, is a multi-layered film. It has a setup, which is he says Twinkies, and then it has a payoff, which is she eats a Twinkie. Mm-hmm. He is Mr. Fantastic, that's set up, and the payoff is he's still Mr. Fantastic. End film. Security guard. Everyone makes weird faces in the film. Especially Monty. And then at the end, they all make weird faces at the end. Except for Monty.
Oh, we can count the TVs behind... Never mind.
No, we can't count TVs. And at the end, Monty does not make a weird face. Oh, and another setup and payoff. They set up the fact that he is not 12 years old. And that Marty
10,
does...
Not 10.
Not 10 or 12 or whatever.
I think it was
Marty,
not 13.
Not 13. Marty never pays attention. He always gets told he's 14. And then at the end, he tells everyone else that he's 14. This film.
You know, if Frankie Shepherd here wouldn't run away and get beaten up, Monty would have like a... Not Monty, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. Marty would have a much worse fate than what happens later.
Who the fuck do you think you are? Get the name of the lead character correct. It is Marty Wolf.
Will was confused before.
Will was wrong before. And that is why he may never come back. I'm sorry, Will. I like the idea that he thinks that he's just let this kid fall to his death. Different stunt actor, just saying. Let this kid fall to his death, and he completely accepts it. He's just like, yeah, I killed a kid. Well, I'm the wolf. You're right, I don't think Jaleel White ever comes back. I thought he might have been in this end crowd shot where it's like everyone who helped him is there.
Is he perhaps in the cinema later on?
We'll
have to keep an eye out for that.
Have to keep an eye out for Jaleel White. No, this is all happening. The dad is such a terrible father.
Guys, for God's sake, stop typecasting Sonic.
He's such a terrible father. I'm sorry. He's a.
That's no good.
That's exactly it. That's no good. That was Jaleel White.
And again, I also wrote, if the kid just jumped off and there was no mattress thing down there, dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah.
I would like to see where the direction of this film would go if they died. Like, what would happen? There's so many points in which he should be dead.
What if he jumped into a wormhole and fell into an alternate dimension? Sequel.
Big Fat Liar. You suck, Marty. I don't know why you would say that.
Because he sucks.
And I don't remember them causing this much damage. Oh my god. It was a movie all along.
Yeah, at this point it confused me because I thought he was just really close to the camera. I didn't
now,
get that
is
he was
Jaleel
giant.
there? I don't think Jaleel is in there.
Keep an eye out.
Is that... No.
That's not Julia White. That's a woman.
Now, I thought...
Look at her cleavage.
I thought when I watched this, I didn't even note it down. Is she Duncan's wife, or am I just racist?
I think you're just racist.
I think I'm racist.
Don't worry about it. You're just racist.
Racism. Well, Big Fat Liar also taught me about racism because Marty Wolf was racist, and that was it. He taught me how. Again, inspired me. Inspired me in many, many ways.
Clap.
And it was all a film. Grandma Pearl is there.
I'm not sure.
I don't see Jaleel White.
I can't see it.
Sonic.
Jaleel White. I'm sorry, I didn't see Jaleel. I like how Monty is sitting next to, like, Frankie Muniz, not his freaking parents.
There's Pearl.
And
There's
the bully
Pearl.
is no longer dumb.
And he's no longer dressing up like Haley.
Yeah, he's losing his shit, Turk is. Turk, we get it. You liked it. Oh, the teacher's back. Why is she so happy? I love that. Congratulations. It was incredible. Like, and that's it. Like, that's the lesson. That's the lesson learned. The mum didn't say anything. The dad is so proud, though. Look at him. He looks like Bruce Wayne, which feeds into my idea that he is a superhero.
Well, didn't Bruce Wayne's parents die when leaving a theater?
Yeah, exactly. So
is he about to get shot right there with the wife?
I think so. Oh my god.
Even his son dressed effeminately.
I like how the son and him dress in the exact same clothes.
And this is the perfect way to
end...
finish off this film.
See his nipples.
The nipples contribute, but you'll see.
Screaming! Ah!
And there we go. A nut shot to finish off the film. That is the cherry on top of this Sunday of a film.
To be fair, we didn't see what happened. He could have just untied his shoelaces.
Now, we finally finished the movie. I want to hear some final thoughts and your personal review and how many stars or how much of a high ranking would you give this film? We'll go with you first because you're our guest.
All right. Well, I don't know much about film, but I know this was a film. So I'll say the very vague criticism that one gives when one doesn't understand film. The cinematography was good. I give it 51 out of 66 stars.
Oh, there you go. What about you, Bartek? Considering that this is now... You've watched it once, other than this viewing that we have just done here. You're a newcomer to the marvellous art form that is Big Fat Liar. I want to hear your thoughts and your review and your rating of this masterpiece.
Yeah, I'm a newcomer to the film, but unlike Will, I'm not a newcomer to film.
Good.
So, I give this film out of film because, like Will said, it was film. Because it was a film. And, you can film me saying that, you can record me saying that. I can't deny that it was a film.
Grandma Poe was played by Sparkle. Just so you know.
That's beautiful. Oh. That's actually Brian Turk.
Yeah, you're right.
You got two Turks.
There's Dustin Diamond right above Bart Meyer.
So, I'll give you my thoughts, and then after, I'm going to read some reviews I found on IMDb. I think this film is one of the greatest films ever made. I don't like when people personally say it's a great kids' film, because it is a film that transcends the level for just kids. Yes, it may have initially been made for children, but it is something that everyone can enjoy. It is a masterpiece of cinema. I am personally glad that someone wrote this and then someone agreed to make it into a film. I'm glad that we got to see the epitome of the 2000s in a film, but yet at the same time, this film is ageless. I miss the fact that Frankie Muniz is absent from our screens. I miss the fact that Amanda Bynes has disappeared into her own world, and I miss films like this. Not just kids' films. I was watching a film earlier this year called Mad Max Fury Road, and I was thinking to myself, I wish this was more like Big Fat Liar.
And that's saying something, because everyone loves the new Mad Max movie, but you gotta ask yourself, was it Big Fat Liar? No, it wasn't. I give this film 5 stars.
Thank you, man. Seriously, I was telling my friend that
I'm
watching...
teary-eyed from that.
That was a beautiful summary. Right?
I was watching this film, and I told my friend about it, and he laughed at me. He said, "Why don't you just watch a good film?" So, but
why watch a good film when you can watch a great film?
Yeah. So, in conclusion, fuck you, Jono.
There you go. So now I've got some reviews from IMDb that gives a different kind of view. Or views. This is the review called... This title is Now That Was Fun to Watch It by Rack78 from Earth, apparently. They had this to say. It is a nice comedy. That's a good way to start. It has the great features of the childhood, lying or trying to get away from own generated troubles. The casting is great. Great acting, and I love this. This is something I didn't understand, but this is what they wrote. And the special effects? They put a question mark there. They weren't sure if there were any, and that gives credit to the film. And the special effects? Well, some stunts are really impressive. Watch it. Smiley face. And that person gave the film like 7 stars out of 10. Pretty impressive. And then this one, which is by the author Plankton Rules, and they are from Florida. The title of this review is I Got Drug Along. Yeah, I got drug along, but it wasn't bad. Okay, prepare yourselves for this one, guys, because again, we were talking about film. This guy touches on, or woman, I don't know. Plankton Rules could be a woman.
It's a SpongeBob fan.
It's a SpongeBob fan and a Big Fat Liar fan.
Or it could be a
They have
They talk about
patrician taste.
They talk about the problems of films that were out during the time of Big Fat Liar, which was something we didn't talk about. And I'm glad this person raises the problem with cinema that was happening in the early 2000s, and that Big Fat Liar restored cinema to what it is, an art form. Okay, this is what they had to say. Okay, I'll admit that if I didn't have kids, I never would have seen this movie and would never see it. But considering all the rotten kids movies I have seen, in brackets, such as Spy Kids 2 or Babe, Pig in the City, end brackets, this is a significant improvement, and it had enough in it that I wasn't totally bored out of my skull or contemplated suicide. In brackets, something I did repeatedly in the other 2 movies. End the brackets. Sure, the performances are pretty broad, and the plot is kind of silly, but it is a kids' film. And compared with other films in the genre, this is definitely better than average. Frankie Muniz and Amanda Bynes actually appear to have some talent, and probably will continue to have careers after puberty, at least on influence. I tried to get that through so seriously. That was okay. Actually appear to have talent. I can't. We'll have careers after puberty, at least on infomercials or doing voiceovers. So if you're looking for a film to see with your kids, you certainly could do a lot worse. 7 out of 10.
That was good.
That was my favourite. It said everything that needed to be said, and also had some controversy in there. I mean, yes, it is a kids' film, but it's a lot more than that, Plankton Rules. A lot more. And I hope you're listening to this. From Florida. That was an emotional ride. Guys, did you have fun?
Of course. It's Big Fat Liar.
Big Fat Liar. And that's enough. Bartek is done with saying anything else. He's like, of course, it was Big Fat Liar, and commentary. You just hear his headphones plonk on the desk, and he leaves.
Where's my paycheck?
And Will, did you enjoy yourself?
I had big fat fun.
That sounds sexual for some reason. I don't know.
Vaguely.
I
Vaguely.
don't know why. I felt that it was an educational romp for everyone involved, including me. There were things that I never noticed in the film, and I am very
Lost for
proud,
words.
I guess, to have learnt that there were things in the movie that I did not see before. Evidently, as I mentioned in my big confession, the first 2 minutes of the movie I had never seen before, but I'm so glad that I got to have the context of the meatball story, the bully story. In fact, all the characters were summed up in the first 2 minutes, and that's a good thing, because movies are far too long these days, and with movies like Big Fat Liar that go for, I don't know, is it like 84 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Perfect.
Well, I've got to say, it's actually a bit of a harder film to get a hold of than I imagined. Because I was in JB the other day. I had a gift voucher from my birthday, and I went to the comedy section to go try and find it. I figured, I didn't know what to buy. Big Fat Liar will probably be cheap. We got this coming up, and I couldn't find it. So I went up to the front counter. The lady at the front counter. Well, I asked her, "Do you have Big Fat Liar?" And she wasn't sure, so I've just clarified, it's that movie where that guy gets painted blue. And she says, oh, yeah, I remember Big Fat Liar. No, we don't have it anymore. The DVDs have been discontinued.
That's an atrocity.
So if you have a copy of Big Fat Liar, you better hold on to it.
There's a copy right in front of us, but when we sneak out of here, we should...
You guys aren't taking my
there
copy.
There is a copy here.
I have a DVD copy, which was not a solo copy.
Yeah.
My copy, unfortunately, or should I say, fortunately, came with Flipper, with Paul Hogan and Elijah Wood, which maybe, if you're lucky, guys, will be a podcast we talk about, because I remember that film, and that's enough for us to talk about it. If I remember it, it's most likely going to be discussed.
I mean, look at this title. Oh my god! ! 2 movies, 1 great price.
And we should clarify, it's OMG.
Oh yeah, OMG.
Oh, yes,
In
OMG.
all caps.
So, it's an atrocity, a major atrocity to hear that Big Fat Liar, according to a staff member that William talked to at a JB Hi-Fi while giving a voucher for his birthday, said that it is discontinued on DVD. That is an atrocity. Bartek and I, with light hearts, made comments about the Holocaust before, but hearing this, makes the Holocaust pale in comparison. Would you agree, Bartek, as a Polish person?
I do agree. I mean, if you go there and you see it's on Blu-ray, you don't need to see it on Blu-ray. We need it on DVD because that's how it was made.
I mean, look, I'm not saying that the only way to watch this film is on VHS, on video, but...
In 2002?
In 2002. Travel back in time. But I'm sure that Bartek's great-grandfather would have rather have not lived in a world in which we could not get a copy of Big Fat Liar as easily as we should have.
I really hope he does that. I really hope he believed that before he died.
Tragedy.
Because if he didn't, I'm going to have eggs on my face.
On Bartek's face. Well, on that upbeat note, we always will end on an upbeat note about Bartek's relatives dying, mainly. I hope. I don't know. We'll work it in somehow. I mean, sure, we might run out of relatives, but that's when I just start killing them, and you're like, oh, no.
Dude, we're going to be fine. I've got a few that died of cancer. We can make great jokes out of that.
Oh, there you go. Will, it's been a pleasure to have you. We're going to have Will on again. Very, very sure about that. I'm very sure. We've got a list, or I've got a list of movies, of other unappreciated masterpieces. I know what you're saying. Ryan, you talked about Big Fat Liar as if it was the unappreciated masterpiece of cinema. And you're right, it is. But then you've got to ask yourself questions like, what about Cats and Dogs with Jeff Goldblum? Or Kangaroo Jack with Christopher Walken? Those are also unappreciated masterpieces. There will be many, 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 I hope, in the future that we're going to talk about. Ones that Bartek will know, ones that I will know, and ones that hopefully our guest will bring along with them. And it would always be great to have suggestions of great unappreciated masterpieces. But for now, we have launched off with the greatest film of them all, maybe. Big Fat Liar with Frankie Muniz, Paul Giamatti, and Amanda Bynes. It was an emotional roller coaster. I'm glad that you guys were here to listen to us talk about a quality film.
And you can listen to it again if you replay the video.
Repeat.
I feel we've been on a journey.
A journey. We're hungry like the wolf. Thank you very much for listening. This has been Spit and Polish presents Unappreciated Masterpieces.
That is true. It has been Spit and Polish presents Underappreciated Masterpieces. Next week, we're going to watch that Lumiere Brothers film where the train comes into the station.
Maybe. If you're lucky. We're lucky enough to have seen movies before.
You know, maybe if you donate some money, we can, do the Lumiere Brothers film.
I don't know if we're going to be money grumblingly
let's
off of you guys. But, talking about making money, Big Fat Liar. I hope it made money.
It clearly did. It got in the OMG DVD box.
Yes. But thank you guys very much for listening to Spin Polish Presents Unappreciated Masterpieces. You have been great listening people. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much.
Good night, everybody.